This is the Nissan X-Trail, and it's pretty much smack bang in the middle of Nissan's SUV lineup. In fact, this mid-spec N-Trek model sits in the middle of the X-Trail lineup, and it's good. It's fine, I guess. But does just being good and fine make it good enough to be your next SUV? Let's have a look. Good afternoon, welcome to this week's episode of Four Wheels in a Seat. My name's Alex Dalrymple. This is my channel where I review new cars every week for people who are looking for a new car or don't know which way to turn. I can help you out with a simple, straightforward review. You don't want to miss an episode though, so please do hit the subscribe button down below, the notification bell, and if you enjoy the video, give me a like. So things are going to be getting interesting for Nissan. Their recently announced merger with Honda could see cars like the X-Trail benefit from Honda's experience with technology, engineering and drive dynamics. So cars like this could be getting a whole lot more exciting in the future. And so onto the X-Trail. Sitting between the Qashqai and the Pathfinder, the X-Trail is a small to medium-sized SUV that in this current guise is about 2.5 years old. It still looks pretty good. I do like this front grille treatment here, the big Nissan badge, what they've done here with the split light clusters with the daytime running lights up here on top and the main headlight cluster down low there. It's a very contemporary design, especially in this shade of grey. Silver on black, 18-inch alloy wheels look good, wrapped in Bridgestone rubber. No sunroof in this spec, you've got to step up one for that, but we do get black roof rails here and they go very nicely with the black finish here on the B-pillar and also the black door handles. Very nice contrasting look there. Bit of matte black plastic down there. You can see that the X-Trail does ride up reasonably high, giving you a good amount of clearance if you think about heading off for a bit of light off-roading. Under the boot lid is 465 litres of storage space because this is actually a 7-seater. I know it doesn't look big enough to have 7 seats, but Nissan have done it. They've crammed in a couple of extra seats in the back. We'll see just how squashy they are in a minute. Knock down those rear seats though, and it expands to 1,400 litres. Under the bonnet, and look, to be honest, there's nothing terribly interesting going on here from a technological point of view. There's no hybrid system, there's no turbocharger, it's just a straightforward, honest 2.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine that outputs 135 kilowatts and 244 newton meters of torque. Fuel economy clocks in at 7.4 litres per 100 kilometres on a combined cycle. And there's 2,000 kilos of brake towing capacity. And I guess the upside of it being pretty simple and straightforward is that there's less things to go wrong. The interior of the X-Trail is nice and functional. It's quite a pleasant place to be. Nice mix of materials, a bit of soft touch with stitching here. We've got this faux wood here that's actually plastic. It looks like it's textured. It's quite a good effect, but you touch it and no, it is quite obviously plastic. But all up, this is actually really quite a nice cabin. The center console screen is 12.3 inches, nice and big. It runs software that is pretty intuitive and easy to use, nice and colorful, some good graphics. Has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. There's native navigation and digital radio. The image from the reversing camera is a bit low res, but there is a top-down 360 view parking camera, which is very helpful when you're parking. Some sound system controls just here under that. The climate controls run completely separately from the center console screen, as they should be, meaning you can make easy adjustments to the temperature in here without having to take your eyes off the road or use voice commands, but you can if you want. There's a USB-A, USB-C port, a 12-volt outlet. The spec sheet says that this car has wireless phone charging, but this particular car doesn't seem to have it. So I don't know if that's a typo or maybe I misread something, but regardless, there's a storage tray here for your phone. Cup holders, nice textured plastic here, where a lot of car makers would have piano black. Here we've got a nice, attractive, scratch-resistant textured black finish, which is nice to see. Twin lid opening bin here, which is actually reasonably deep. Head-up display, really nice and bright on the windshield. The steering wheel is leather wrapped with stitching, has a flat bottom, a nice feel to it, easy to use controls on the steering wheel. Paddle shifters here, although there isn't really a gearbox because this is a CVT. The 10-inch digital instrument cluster has 2 display modes that you can switch between and a few different modes that you can display in the middle. Not a hell of a lot of information on there, but it's quite an attractive design, I guess. These seats are interesting. They're actually quite comfortable, but the material on them is a little bit weird. It's sort of this fake leather that's sort of really feels quite plasticky. it's not awful, it's just, I've never seen anything quite like it. I can imagine if this car was parked in the sun all day, it would get really hot. But yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It's sort of futuristic in a way. The seats themselves are very comfortable. There's electric adjustment for the driver plus lumbar support. Front passenger is manual only. Visibility out the front is good. All around the glass house, it's pretty good actually. Blind spots are at a minimum. We've got blind spot detectors in the wing mirrors, and I've got loads of headroom. So yeah, if you're taking the family on a trip, the X-Trail is a good car to do it in. The back of the X-Trail, and it is a bit dark back here because we've got quite dark privacy glass, but I guess the upside of that is it does keep the cabin a bit cooler. There are also built-in sunshades in both of the rear doors. The first thing I've noticed is how firm the seat is. It's actually very firm, and it actually sort of makes you sit very properly. So I feel quite upright sitting here, and I also feel noticeably higher than the front seat passengers. But having said that, plenty of headroom, plenty of knee room, and I'm behind my own seating position. I'm 190 centimeters tall, so not short. In the middle, USB-A, USB-C ports plus air vents. There is an armrest disguised as a center seat. You just pull this forward and down it pops with 2 cup holders and a little storage cubby there, and a little bit of a soft handhold for your hand if you want to use the headrest for that. Getting into the third row is not really all that easy, as it never is really for adults, but look, so long as you can get the second row passengers to keep their seats a little far forward, then third row passengers are actually okay back here. I've got a reasonable amount of room, but just looking down there, the second row passenger really doesn't. So this would never work in a million years with 3 rows of adults. You could do it with small children, maybe, and very small children at that. But in terms of third row amenities, well, there's a cup holder, and that's about it. Is the Nissan X-Trail a turn-back car, a car so good looking that you have to turn back and look at it after you've parked it? No, not really. And look, that's not because there's anything really wrong with it. It's just that it's a slightly older and fairly common car. I mean, there just are quite a few of them out there, and the overall design and shape has not changed in some years. So it's probably about due for a refresh. Having said that though, I do really like the grey that this car is in, and the black accents I think really lift the exterior of the car a lot. The steering feels quite light. It could do with a bit more weight. It's just a little too easy to kind of throw around. But overall on the road, the X-Trail feels pretty good. I mean, there's nothing really fundamentally wrong with the way it drives. It's just that there are other cars that sort of do it better and have a bit more panache or a bit more flair. And I think that's where Honda could really help Nissan out. Although there's no turbocharger, the 2.5 litre engine still feels really pretty responsive, and there's a good amount of pickup from the lights. In terms of insulation from the outside world, I really can't complain. I mean, I can barely hear the engine at all, and there's very little noise coming through from the road or from the outside world in general. The loudest noise is the air conditioning. Kudos to Nissan though, their cars don't beep, unless there's a car in your blind spot when you've got your indicator on, and I actually don't mind that. Now, although this particular car has a pretty simple, straightforward 2.5 litre petrol engine, there is a hybrid version available mating a 1.5 litre petrol engine with an electric motor, and that would be quite a bit more efficient than this car. So that is the Nissan X-Trail, and it's fine, it's good. It just badly needs some Honda DNA to make it a bit more lively, which it will probably soon get. So in the meantime, if you're looking for a well-made and economical SUV, this could be definitely one to add to your list.